I wanted to bring up Ohio because I know you talk about wasps. There's some waspy shit going on in Cincinnati where a couple got their ass kicked
on the bridge.
It's gone viral. Yeah. And, you know, the right is using this as another example of, oh, blacks are maniacs and they're savages and they just attack white people for no reason. It was revealed, of course, that they said something racist to them. And this councilwoman said they begged for it. They begged for the beatdown because they wanted this. Because there was the woman who said the N-word at a playground and made a GoFundMe and got like $1 million. I'm sure this couple is doing the same thing. This is the wife who has been showing up on Fox News and whatnot. And they're crowdfunding off of it. And Vivek Ramaswamy talked about it. And let me actually play a little bit of that. Because Vivek I thought he was gone, but he's back, folks. The funniest part of the Republican primary is back.
You all saw the picture by show of hands of Holly and how she suffered. I talked to Holly as recently as yesterday. My wife is actually a throat surgeon at the cancer hospital at the James at Ohio State. And so Holly had suffered some neck injuries. We wanted to be helpful. I had people criticizing me for having the gall to call one of the victims. And one of the things that shocked me was 3 days after the attack, Holly told me that not a single elected statewide or even local elected official had called her at that point in time. And it just, I think, shows a little bit of out of touch leadership that we have to get back in touch with who we're actually here to represent.
So I wanted to get your reaction to that and the fact that JD is currently
in Nantucket.
The ads. No, he had his team change the level of the water in the Ohio River for his family's boating trip. So when Vivek says no statewide official has reached out, he's including
They're
JD
too busy
in that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. These are narcissists. I mean, narcissists have a habit of surrounding themselves with other narcissists, and there's just kind of a hierarchy. That's what Trump has done. He's surrounded himself with, other people who only care about themselves, their own self-interests, and they. Of course, she didn't hear it from anybody. I don't know who Vivek's kidding though.
All the phone calls from every right-wing outlet and influencer and people running for office.
And who knows if that story is even true? Like, I don't even believe Vivek. Like, he's a piece of shit. I mean, he made his money off of an MLM, what's it called? Multi-level marketing scheme. And it's like, dude, don't expect me to respect you. Why should I respect you? See, that's what I keep talking about on Left Coast Live. And I don't know if I talk enough about it here, but it's the respect that's the problem, right? Like, my thesis is that conservatives are overgrown children that can't be reasoned with. So do you respect a child when they're throwing a temper tantrum? Do you respect a child even when they're just being stubborn and won't listen? Of course not. So why should we respect conservatives? And it's, people criticize the left for talking past, or people criticize Republicans and Democrats for talking past each other. And I'm like, no way. There's way too much bipartisanship. There's still bipartisanship going on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's way too much. They need to start really cleaving.
And I think that criticism also reeks of conservative intellectual insecurity, because they feel like they're getting talked past because they haven't done their homework and they don't understand these issues. It's like trying to teach a fifth grader calculus.
Right.
Let's talking to them about some of these problems. They're still caught up in the might makes right crap, and or worship the badge. That's one of my false gods. One of my Deter trichotomies is the three false gods of right-wing America. and one of them is the uniform. And it's just like, if you're a service member, but particularly cops, they worship, man. The right-wingers worship at him. So Vivek is a douchebag. I have no respect for him. If I were to ever get on stage with him, I would do my best to humiliate and be like, you're a piece of shit. And whoever from the left emerges as like, it's MAGA versus the rest of the country, and we all need to unite to defeat MAGA. Yeah. Whoever does that first will probably be the next president, like, of the big name people.
Yeah.
Like, whoever says this is a war, they're waging war on us, and that gives us no choice but to wage war right back. And if you're, a converted conservative, welcome to the party, but please put on your listening cap, because you were wrong. Like,
I don't know why Mamdani hasn't been getting on as well. I mean, because I'm thinking, like, I just saw a clip of Emma Vigeland from Majority Report on MSNBC last night. Now, Ali Velshi was in for Chris Hayes. Chris Hayes is friends with Sam Cedar, so they already have an in there. But Kat Abou-Ghazala is going on CNN pretty frequently, and she's running in Chicago,
Illinois,
Congress. And maybe she's a white woman, blonde hair, and so it's easier to put her on camera. I don't know. Versus scary Muslim man. I don't know. Maybe if he had Brad Lander attached to his hip, then they would be on more often.
I mean, the simplest example is that just the special interests of New York and the mayor of New York is such like a symbolic political signpost, right? And the idea of it going to a democratic socialist is terrifying to a lot of people. Kat's just trying to be, I don't think she's even a member of the DSA. If she is, I don't think she's been really loud about it, but she's definitely anti-establishment. That's her whole thing. And it's just a different race. It's just a different animal. She's not as much of a threat.
Person versus
she's not much. Exactly. She's not nearly as much of a threat. Like, the mayor of New York can get on any media outlet he wants whenever he wants. And the same can't be said for an obscure congresswoman from Illinois. You know what I mean?
They kind of did this to themselves, because post 9/11, Giuliani was America's mayor. So now the mayor of New York is always America's mayor, and we don't want to show America that your mayor is a Muslim socialist.
Yeah. It's disappointing. I've watched yeah, sure, actually, because I hate him, so
yeah, I know. Exactly.
Yeah, we can watch a little bit more, but I might cut it off at some point.
Yeah, of course.
Then yes, I do believe that I'm right to ask for your vote, not because I need it, because I want it, but because we need leaders who are going to act with the spine, as Sarah said, not just with our words. That's all I can give you now. But once we get in there in 18 months, to also be able to serve with actual action, with a spine, not sweeping these issues under the rug, but confronting them through actual action. That's my commitment.
He sounds like a white comedian talking about a black guy doing a white voice. That's how his voice sounds.
Yeah, I guess. That's like pretty specific. That's pretty specific. He sounds like a white... Wait, let me see if I understand this. He sounds like a white guy trying to do a black voice.
He sounds like a white guy trying to do a black guy doing a white voice.
Do a black guy doing a white voice. Okay.
Like how Bill
because there is a
Burr
nerdiness
about black comedians.
Because there is like a nerdiness about the way he talks. Yeah.
He's like very nasally and hi, I'm professional. Almost that transatlantic accent from like 50 fucking years ago, 80 years ago.
You can defend yourself even with a weapon.
The other side has lost their way. Now it's up to us to level up, to man up, and actually say, what do we actually stand for? See, the other side might give us their own version of poison. We're going to stand for truth. We're done obsessing with the failures of the other side. We want to know.
Let's see the Epstein files.
He's doing the fucking Obama moves. Hands look this way. Hands look this way. He's doing.
But they
Obama.
all do it. They get I mean, they're not creative, bro. If they were creative, they'd be working in Hollywood. This is why they're in politics, because they're like creative enough to kind of like survive And, you know, he has this ethos because he's a successful entrepreneur. And that really bums me out. The extent to which we celebrate luminaries of capitalism is really disappointing. It's really disappointing in this country that we don't celebrate the great intellectuals of our society. We celebrate just the big time winners. It's like, it's one thing to do that with athletes who are risking their bodies for the sake of our entertainment, but it's another to do that with people in the private sector who are really just in it for themselves. Like, they did a really good job of taking care of themselves and their people. Yeah. Way to go. They didn't run for office. They didn't exercise power. That's one thing that, like, I borrow from the Wasp. Here, let me see if I have one.
Yeah.
It's right here. So this is where this guy, E. Digby Baltzell, the Protestant established aristocracy and caste in America. Okay. So this is the guy who came up with the term WASP. And in it, he says that something along the lines of, and this is back in the 60s, mind you, talking about the baby boomers, that they have been educated to compete. They have not been educated to exercise power.
That's an interesting point.
It's kind of an unapologetic. See, I come from a place of, like, you know, not, it wasn't saying you're special. It was just saying you've been given a lot. Mm-hmm. You've been given a first-class education that you didn't have to pay for, right? Yeah. So you have an obligation. There's an implicit obligation for people who have, like, this kind of nagging feeling like I do, like something's wrong with American political leadership. Like, they're fucking either losers, pussies, or bullies.
Yeah.
All of them. Like, even we're seeing AOC screw up now. And so I come from the tradition of, like, if you were given privilege, you know, yeah, you can just use that to create more privilege. I mean, remember, over half of billionaires come from privilege, something like that.
Right.
That's fine. You want to go out and make more money, whatever. But don't expect me to think of you as special. If you come from privilege, the cultural obligation used to be, back in the days of the Roosevelts and the Kennedys, it was, and even well before that, it was public service. It was like, you don't have time to worry about money, but you've been around power and privilege your whole life. So when you actually get to have the power, it's not going to influence you as much. Because what are you motivated by? Legacy. Right. That's the narcissism. That's the thing where, like, a politician will actually earn my respect, is that, you know, what's in it for them. It's like, oh, I'm trying to do good in these communities. I'm trying to, like, get, you know, it's like, no. Those are all the how. That's all the how to improve. But why are you trying to improve either this district, this town, this state, this country? What's in it for you? And if I were to ever run for office, I'd be like, it's very simple. When I'm gone, I don't know how well I'm going to do, but when I'm gone, I want them to say, Deter gave it all you had and tried to get change and tried to get big change in America. And that's it. That should be the attitude of the next generation of progressive competitors.
You can even make it, I mean, to bring up Bill Burr again, he's been in the news. He had a bit about how do we solve climate change? Sell the sun to the billionaires. Be like, billionaires, you own the sun now. So now do what you can to mitigate its damage on us, and you'll get a profit. It'll profit you somehow. If a billionaire goes, you know, I mean, it goes back to I was watching, like, Boardwalk Empire. They wanted to desegregate so that they could sell to more people. Like, these were selfish Republican, you know, criminal bootleggers, part of the mafia and the mob, but they were inclusive when it came to who they work with. One, because they had no choice, but two, they realized, well, if I sell to black people can't buy stuff in regular stores. I sell to them. I own that entire market. It's selfish for me, but I'm accidentally creating progress. If you sell it to them as, like, one, yes, legacy, people will love you. We have a park named after you, whatever the fuck. But you'll get richer because more people will buy your product because they see you as a good company.
Right.
This is what the pink washing and the pride washing was for all these companies, and they're pulling back now because they think the tide is turning. And they're going, oh, we don't want, you know, rainbow merch in our Target. But but the companies that stick with it and go, no, this is what we're going to stand on, and we're not moving from this, that's going to have a loyal customer base going forward. Always. And just like politicians, you're going to have loyal followers. Like if Mamdani wins in November, fingers crossed,
Right.
knock wood, and the bus program gets through, what was these other ones? The universal child care, I believe, to buff that up. That stuff gets through. People feel that in their day-to-day lives. They're not going to want to go back to a time before that.